Alright, so here we have our shed, we have our floor and our walls set. Now we're going to add a gable roof. So we want to go into the roof floor plan. This is where we're going to add it from. You can do this in a 3D view. I think it's a lot easier to do in one of your floor plan views though. So architecture tab is where our roof is. We're going to click on roof, and we're now in the selections for the roof. So good way to do it, instead of picking walls for the roof, I like to pick lines because I can pick exact lines. Now we have a couple options we want to change before we start clicking things. We have a defines slope. That means do you want that slope on that side, and then the offset. So for this one, we're going to do a 1 foot offset. So we'll enter 1. And we want slope on the long sides, but not on the short side. So we're going to leave this checked for the first two. So I'm going to pick this first one, and you can see the dotted line gives you, do you want it inside, outside? We want our roof to be clear on the outside, so I'm going to kind of hover until it gets the outside. It's showing me it's sloped. It's a 912 roof. I want to go to the other side and do the same thing. So this is where it's the sides that are going to be sloped. On these short ends, I don't want it to be sloped, so I'm going to uncheck the define slopes, but I want them to still have the offset. So I'm going to leave the 1 foot offset. So now when I click them, they still have the offset, but you can see that the little triangle is no longer there. So we have this issue. It did not connect because we chose by lines instead of picking all the way and drawing around. So we can do a couple things. We can trim corners, which is something nice. We don't have an inventor. Just pick the 2 corners you want to extend. Same thing over here. And we have our corners. So we're going to go ahead with that option. So I've got my slopes on the right side and I've got my overhang. I'm going to go ahead and hit a check mark. Would I like to attach the walls to the roof? Yes, anytime you have this, most likely you're going to want to attach your walls. That will extend your walls up, and I'll show you in the 3D view what's happened. So I'm going to click yes. It'll finish it. So it's kind of funny looking here because it's cutting off a piece of the roof based upon the elevation. So let's go to the 3D view and see how it looks. So there's our 3D view. It is indeed a gable roof. If I rotate around, and you can see it overhangs 1 foot all the way around, which is what we wanted. And what it's also done is before our walls came straight across here, it's attached them so the walls now go straight up, connecting to the roof. So our shed is completely enclosed, which is how we want that. If for some reason you said no, there's a way to come in later. I can do a video on how to attach your walls. Alright, so that is our gable roof. So there is the basics of creating the roof. Now, one more thing we would like to do is let's change our wall type. So in the beginning it said just basic walls is all we had. So if I click on one of these walls, hover until I get the wall selected, it kind of makes it transparent. We just did a basic 8-inch wall. Now we're going to choose an exterior brick on metal studs. So I want to scroll down till I find, whoops, clicked away. Scroll up, the interior at the bottom, the exterior at the top. So we have brick and CMU on metal studs, that's concrete masonry unit, brick on concrete masonry unit, and brick on metal studs. So we're going to go with this option. So now you can see it's changed the one wall to be brick. And it's a thicker wall, brick's thicker than the basic 8-inch, so it makes it stick out a little far. So what we want to do is go back and check, did that change our dimensions? Yes, it did. So what I want to do is click on this, and I want to make this back to 12 and adjust it back down. So now we have our 12 by 16 that we want it to. So we're verified, everything looks good, all blue arrows on the outside, and we have our roof. So that's our first 3D completed shed. Nice job.